Brian Powell of I Run Far here with co-host Dylan Bowman and Hayden Hawks before the 2017 North Face 50 mile. How are you, Hayden?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. You return after your great second place here last year. One of the classic battles of ultra running that I've seen in a decade of following the sport. I think we can say that. That was one of the...
And I feel your pain because I finished second to Zach the year before. So we're kindred spirits in that regard.
Yeah, it wasn't too much pain though. It's just, I'm all right finishing second to Zach.
Yeah. Well, you guys had a great race. So talk about a little bit about that race. You don't have to rehash the whole thing, but it was one of the greatest races of all time that I can remember witnessing, at least firsthand. I think it was, what, 2 minutes at the end or even less.
Yeah.
How did that affect you? Because it kind of put you on the map to a certain degree. You had one speed goat last year, but the North Face 50 mile race, at least in my mind, was sort of like your coming out party, and you've had a lot of success since then. Talk a little bit about how that race sort of has affected your career and how you think about and approach these types of races now.
Yeah, I was really surprised, you know, the video that Runs TP High did, you know, with me and Zach. I was really surprised how big that blew up, but it really helped, you know, in my career, kind of helped catapult me into, you know, all this ultra running and kind of build a little bit of a name for myself. You know, I just went out there to compete, you know, that was the biggest thing. You know, I knew that was going to be tough competition like it always is, and my whole, you know, perspective going in was just run hard, run as hard as you possibly can, and, you know, give everything you got and make sure you have nothing left at the end. And, you know, it's kind of what I did. You know, and Zach just had a little bit better day than me, you know, but that guy's a champion, you know, he's an amazing runner. Yeah. And, but yeah, it was probably one of the most special races, you know, I've had so far, and I'm just excited to be back here because this race means so much to me, you know, being my first 50 miler and being kind of that race that got me going in the sport.
Cool. So, late last year you had a great race at North Face, and then a couple months later you absolutely crushed Moab red hot. Then you had, I mean, you were second to Max at Chuckanut, which was another great race. Maybe a bad shoe choice. Yeah. You're stepping around in the mud at Chuckanut a little bit.
Under the previous records.
Yeah, just nailing them. You kind of had a great strategy to work for that, and then tried to burn a little too hot on TV, Transvolcania and Worlds, and realized you messed up. Yeah. Just were racing a little too much, too often. Does having that CCC, would that feel like redemption, and do you feel like that showed that, yes, I need this couple months lead up for a big race?
Yeah, for sure. You know, that was my goal race for the whole entire year. You know, from after this race, actually, I set that goal that I wanted to win CCC. And so, yeah, you know, having that tough little spell there in the middle was kind of tough, but I learned a lot from it. And it really helped me become a more mature and just a stronger runner. It helped me to realize, you know, what I need going into races. I need a good training block. You know, I need to recover a little bit and make sure that I'm not, you know, doing back-to-back stuff. Because, you know, I did well for 3 or 4 of those races, and then the last 2 was just like I had nothing left. And it was just too many, you know, 6 races of 50K or more during the spring, you know, it's just too much, especially at the level that I'm trying to run them at. But yeah, I'm really excited going into this race because I've had kind of that same type of training block that I had going into CCC and into Moab and into Chuckanut. The good thing too is it's raining outside, you know, and every race that I've done well this year, it's rained. So we'll see.
Yeah. Cool. So how did you work out of that slump in between Transvolcania, Worlds, and then building up to CCC? Did you take a lot of time off? And then
I took 2 weeks off, completely off. A little bit of hiking, but it was just 2 weeks completely off just to kind of reset everything, you know, reset physically but also mentally. Spend some time with my family and just kind of was like, okay, I'm not going to think about running for 2 weeks, and then after that I'm going to go straight into it. You know, and coming back I didn't feel very good because I think I was still a little, you know, trashed from a lot of those races, and then the 2 weeks off. But I knew, like, in my head I knew, like, hey, if I can get a good training block in and not have injuries, I can win CCC. So the fitness has always been there. It's just a matter of recovering for me.
So speaking of winning CCC and then recovering, have you found that that has gone well as well? Because we were just talking to Zach, and he obviously did UTMB, and the races this year, UTMB to TNF, are 3 weeks closer together, and the same is true with CCC, obviously. Yeah. How did you recover from CCC, and do you feel like you bounced back pretty quick and trained well?
Yeah, for sure. I felt really recovered, actually. I think I had a really good day at CCC. I had a really good race. Everything went good. My nutrition, everything went great. And so I think it was easier to recover because I didn't bonk. You know, I didn't, have a bad day. And at the end of CCC, I finished and I was like, man, I could run more. Really? Like, I felt great at the end.
Should have jumped into UTMB.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that, but yeah, I felt great. And so I think feeling so great, and learning from my previous races how to recover. Going into this, I recovered really, really well. Tried to transition into some more faster speed stuff going into this. That was kind of tough. Coming from mountains to speed is kind of a hard transition, but I transitioned really well, and I have some really good leg speed going into this race.
Good.
So
you're a dad now.
Yeah.
How is that, and how is that affecting your running?
Oh, it's not affecting my running at all. I have an amazing wife who supports me so much. She's a runner herself, so she knows, exactly what I'm doing and everything. And so she's really been super supportive. She lets me get my workouts in, and she's always just like, you go do it, you need to do this, you need to do this, and pushes me, actually. And so it's been awesome, having a kid. He actually motivates me even more. It's helped me become just more mature. It's helped me grow up. And
does it make you? I mean, you come from running. You've run from a long time. It's come from a thing that's been fun for you for a long time.
Yeah,
and it comes through competition and all that. But does it make it feel more like a job at all now? Like you're getting out to do the workouts to get the results to support your family, or does it still feel like you're getting out there and like, I just love to be out there running?
I just love to be out there running. To be honest, I love it so much. I've always loved running. And, if anything, it makes me love it even more because, I spend a lot of time during the day, taking care of the kid, changing diapers, doing that kind of stuff. And so it's good for me to be able to go out and be able to get up into the mountains and, get that fresh air and just be like, yeah, and kind of relax, get my mind off of some stuff. And then I go right back to, loving the kid as much as I can when I get home. So it's been a good transition, and really it hasn't changed it that much at all. If anything, I've trained harder leading into this race, even with the kid.
So talk about that a little bit. You obviously have a reputation as a high volume trainer, and you can see what you do on Strava, but can you tell us sort of what this build-up has looked like, or what an average week kind of has been like for you?
Yeah. So after CCC, I did like a 30-mile week, just kind of a little bit of recovery. But I got some good vert in, and then the next 5 weeks or so was just a gradual increase, up to 150 miles was my highest week with 20,000 feet of vert.
Qualifies as high volume.
Yeah, I guess so. And then I've slowly built back down leading into this race.
You do a couple workouts a week, and you said you're trying to do faster.
Usually 2 workouts a week. I started off doing a lot of climbing. I had a week in there with 24,000 feet of vert. I was in the Grand Canyon, doing some stuff. And then I've actually put in some really good speed leading into this training block, like track intervals and really fast stuff. I did a workout last week, 4-mile repeats, and averaged 4:45 pace. I did a workout during this period. Yeah, it was 4 by 5K, and I averaged 15:37 for 5Ks. And so it's just.
I never ran track. I don't know what that means, but
yeah,
sounds really fast.
So yeah, it's been a mix of speed, vert, long runs. I've got a couple 35-mile long runs in. So
cool.
Yeah.
Good. Well, it sounds like a good lead up here, Hayden. Best of luck out there on
Thanks,
Saturday.
man. Yeah, thank you.
Good luck, man.
Yeah, take care, man.